it on. Oh, you wish you had my Levi jeans. When it's popping out your phone, put it down to it.
Baby, you know I'm on my bullshit. I'll let you ride. Rodeo in your room, that shoe break so swift, perfect timing. That really tease me in them jeans. Girl,
I'm not interested in messing with no desperate man. And to me, anyone that's even like desperate,
I'm sorry.
what does she bring to the table? She can't even rate. She doesn't even have custody of her kids. I wish I was.
Hey y'all, hold on.
This
What's up, y'all? I'm trying to hear something and talk to y'all, but that's not gonna work, right? It's not gonna work. Hold on, give me a minute. Getting ourselves together. Hey, you guys, welcome in. I hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. We have one more week to Christmas. I'll say it again. I hope y'all babies have something for Christmas. I know you can't do much, but I hope it's something they have. Okay, so before we get into the information for today, December 22nd, I will be having December 22nd, I'm going to say it again, 6:30 to 7. If you're an hour above me, you know that's 7:30 to 8. I will be giving away gift cards. I might do, I know it's going to be 2, it might be 3, and I might do some gift cards, 2 more for the 23rd. We'll see how things are. It will be after my commentary. It's going to be like a gift card to give for things, just to say I appreciate y'all, and I appreciate y'all for coming in to watch my content, subscribing, being there. I do want to give back to y'all, even if people just want to come in. It will be numbers or questions. So make sure you watch the commentary, numbers and questions. Okay. Numbers and questions. All right, let's get into it. So, oh, goodness. We have, before we get into that, I want to share something else. Let me put this under here. Black American state of emergency before we get into your insurance. We're going to talk about it. If you are Black Americans, I need y'all to pay attention. The National Urban League has gave a prominent let me share my screen because I want y'all to pay attention. We got a problem here. So the term state of emergency for Black Americans is declaration made by the National Urban League, NUL, a prominent civil rights organization, in its July 2025 State of America report. The state of emergency is for Democrats and civil rights. Now, let me say this. I know a lot of y'all was like, oh, Republican Party that were Black moved to the Democrat Party. I don't know why y'all keep putting that, and it got switched. It was Republicans, Blacks, but when it got switched over, more people went to Democrat because of what happened with the racism. Okay? And now we're seeing dominant racism and non-careness of the Republican Party. And most people that went to the Democrat Party, it switched. I wish y'all stopped saying, oh, yeah, it switched. Tell the truth. It changed. And we're going to talk about that. Hold on. Let me find that while we're talking about this. They did after the Great Depression, in the civil rights movement, Democrat support for civil rights contrasted sharply with the Republican opposition. I need y'all to start reading and research before y'all jump on here and say Republicans. It became economic necessity, New Deal programs. There were party changes to where they switched over because there was a policy divide in 1964 when blacks realized that the Republican Party that they chained with and started was getting overturned with the racism. Okay. Now let's get back to the state of emergency. So it is said here that basically attacks on the civil right and diversity into money, we're gonna say funds, incentives. So basically there's an attack on HBCUs, as we see. There also an attack on the voting rights, as we see that the Republicans have made for gerrymandering, not only in Texas, Louisiana, and North Carolina, New Orleans and North Carolina, or Louisiana, I'm sorry, in North Carolina. So there's a gerrymandering, depends on your percentage of how many black votes can be counted and how many Latino votes can be counted. So that is an attack as well. Purpose and call to action. Oh, wait, hold on. Your economic disparities, which has something to do with minority-owned businesses. There's a lot of black women getting basically fired or losing their jobs that work in government jobs, and now they can get their job. It's just so much going on. This is like a Semitic oppression. And so the CEO Mark has emphasized that the declaration is not mere rhetoric but a call of urgency and action. And the report aims to mobilize black communities and their families, and their allies to resist and reclaim civil rights protections. The NUL urges advocacy groups, community leaders, and individuals to engage in a fight for justice and democracy. The reason why they want to fight for democracy is because of the fact is that there are more black people that are under attack. Even if you are not under, they're saying, hey, we know most of y'all are not, basically Democrats as a black party. We understand that, but you're still being attacked. And you need to realize to stop tap dancing and understand when you're being attacked. Okay, now let's get into the healthcare. Let's see. So remember that they were holding because, and a lot of people say, oh, well, it's the Democrat. No, it was the Republican. So the reason why they were holding and it was such a strong hold on stopping them and putting a halt was because of y'all healthcare. Now they came up with a plan for the healthcare, but I'm gonna tell you how they finna play in y'all goddamn face. And we're gonna watch some videos because I was like, wait, what? Yes, honey. They're gonna play in your face. Who child? It's like it's like they're saying, yeah, we give that to y'all, but we're winning in the end still. It's not enough for you to sit here and say that this is what's going to happen. Let me break down what it is. So it says, okay, your 2026 to 2027 healthcare crisis stems from expiring ACA subsidies, looming Medicare cuts from the new legislation, stricter Medicaid rules, leading to potentially millions losing coverage, skyrocketing premiums, double-digit increase expected, increased financial strain for families, right? So they had came up with the plan. Where is that healthcare thing that I just saw? I think this is what it is. Let's see. I should have sent it to myself. So I think this is it. So the healthcare industry is headed to an era of disruption greater than a living memory. 54% of the healthcare revenue comes from federal government, but nearly $1 trillion of the funding is disappearing, with more cuts looming on the horizon. To survive, health community change in a big way. And so let's go down. So they're saying this is what your 2026 will look like by next year. There's going to be a massive funding cut. For decades, healthcare organizations have heavily relied on federal money to keep their doors open, and now much of that revenue is going unsucceeding. So, with this new act that the Congress in July will cut an estimate of $911 billion from Medicaid over the next 10 years. The nonpartisan congressional budget also estimate the bill will trigger nearly $500 billion in future Medicaid cuts beginning in 2027 to offset lower federal tax revenue. Although Congress could still act to prevent this from happening, hospitals will serve all comers and will feel the effects first. With a significant amount of revenue now likely to become bad debt, rural hospitals will take especially a large hit. And while Congress did create a $50 billion fund to help rural hospitals affected by the Medicaid cuts, it is not nearly enough. 300 rural hospitals are already at immediate risk of closure. So those hospitals in those areas and small towns, there's nothing out there they can get close to. They are at risk of closing down as of now. So we're going to see a change by next year. Some of these hospitals are depleting and gone. Like, you're going to pray you get somewhere to the next hospital. We were seeing that when the woman said that she had to go all the way across town to give birth, that she gave birth in her car. She had to go you know how far that was? So imagine you're pregnant and you have to give birth, but you got to go 30 to 45 minutes out. Or imagine you're having a heart attack or whatever. You have to go 30 to 45 minutes out. That's far. Don't. I didn't say it. They saying it, okay? Along with the funding cuts, Medicaid has also imposed burdensome work requirement, which likely dramatically reduced the number of people insured by the program. So basically, they're saying that even if you are working and you need to be insured, that is going to affect your job having insurance. Unless Congress make a last-minute deal to extend the Affordable Care Act, subsidies set to expire at the end of 2025. They have not said anything yet that they opposed to promising when they open back the government, and this is why we were saying don't open that motherfucker back up. Excuse my French. Don't open it back up. Okay, let me see if I can look up the policy, because there's some changes. Okay, this was 6 days ago, so we're going to look into that. Dang, what happened? Oh, shoot. Y'all gonna hear my dog in a few. Oh, he ain't doing it, so somebody might be okay. Okay, let's go to the big, beautiful bill change. As a result, 10 million could lose health insurance coverage by 2034. Let me see. Basically, because of the one big beautiful bill, there might not be any health care by 2024. I want to go to this video real quick. Let me go to my TikTok. Because I swear I sent that to myself. And it was one where it was breaking down your health care. I feel bad for everybody because I'm nervous because, like, 2026. So basically 2026 is 2026 is you have to your stuff is gonna be high. But it go down, but you still gotta pay that gap of it. Let's see. It's sad. Okay. I'm gonna play a couple videos.
Changes in healthcare in 2026. As a doctor who likes to be in the know, here are 5 things that I think you should know about for 2026. Number one, the ACA subsidies are going away. And so that means the premiums for healthcare plans on the Obamacare ACA marketplace are going to go up higher than T-Swift tickets. Some people will stay, but a lot of people leave, either searching out cheaper plans that don't cover pre-existing conditions or just go without insurance at all. Number two, that kind of leads into primary care, direct primary care, and concierge medicine. So a lot of doctors are just done. They are sick of dealing with the prior authorizations and the insurance bullshit, and they are out. They are cash pay only. In fact, I know a neurologist and a rheumatologist this last year that went out on their own cash pay only. And so that'll actually work out well for people who have high deductibles that never hit their deductible. They can just get cash pay and they get better service and more time with their doctor. Number three, the Medicaid requirements. So they technically don't go into effect until January 1 of 2027, but some states can actually enact them earlier. So if you are one of the people that has to do the 80 hours a month work requirements, you need to get your ducks in a row and know what you're going to do and figure out how you're going to report it, because your state could actually enact it before January 1, 2027. Number four, pharmacies. The pharmacists are burnt out. There is a shortage of people working in pharmacies, and there's actually fewer and fewer people applying to pharmacy school. Plus, there's more robot involvement, a lot of talk about AI involvement. And so there's a lot of changes that may make it longer to get your prescription and longer lines when you are at the actual pharmacy. And number five is telehealth. At the end of January, the Medicare approval for telehealth visits should be going away. Other insurances may follow. So for people who are in rural situations or of limited mobility and are used to seeing their doctor in their pajama pants, that is going away. And so this is a potential access issue for those type of patients. So those are my 5 things I think you should know about the healthcare Hunger Games of 2026.
So the first video I seen this morning when I woke up.
Oh,
Nurses
All
don't
right.
have to work at nursing homes anymore, according to the Trump administration. HR1, or the big beautiful
It's
bill,
no
is
shade.
rolling back the staffing requirements inside of nursing homes. So this is going back to the pre-Biden era changes. In the Biden era changes, we increased the required minimum staffing in nursing homes. We're not going backward. Positive step in the right direction had said that there had to be a registered nurse on site 24/7, at least 24 hours a day, and it was going to require that nursing home residents receive 2.45 hours a day of CNA care and at least half an hour of care from a registered nurse. Backwards to say that there only has to be a registered nurse on site for 8 hours continuously in a day, not 24 hours a day. And this ruling cites staffing challenges within First Nations people as a reason to roll back protections for all elderly people inside of the United States, which I find to be especially disrespectful. And elder abuse and neglect is already rampant in these long-term care facilities. My first job was in a nursing home. I made it 6 months as a certified nursing assistant before I quit due to the terrible and abhorrent working conditions that I found there every single day. Elders and seniors deserve better, and I think you guys should know this. This is another very concerning thing that we are seeing happening. Versus
To have them 8 hours a day. Because I'm gonna tell you why. That is dangerous, because you have to understand. Because why am I keep hitting that? Hold on, y'all. Give me a minute. Give me a minute, y'all. Let me play this video because he really showing his tail today. Sit down. And I better not hear a word. Be quiet. Let me play while I make him lay down. Excuse me.
OF paid, because you're going to need that shit next year for your healthcare insurance. So Republicans have rolled out their new healthcare plan, and baby, it's a shit show. The ACA subsidies are gone. They expire at the end of this month, and they are not in their new healthcare plan. And the ACA premium tax credits help millions of people keep health insurance affordable. I know y'all saying, what the fuck is actually in their plan? Because this is the first time they actually had one. Let me break that shit down for you. So one, they have the Association
All right, y'all, I'm back.
Health plans, which basically means that small businesses can band together to get health insurance, making it cheaper for their employees. But what they don't tell you is these plans do not follow ACA rules. They offer cheaper premiums by skipping out on actual coverage, which means everything that was covered under the Affordable Care Act will not be covered under these plans. So you will be paying more out of pocket for mental health, maternity, and prescriptions. They can charge you based on your age and your health. Healthier groups will benefit from this program, but sicker people won't. Two, they have the pharmacy benefit manager. Follow the UGG money. Pharmacy benefit manager, they are the middleman between UGG companies, insurers, and pharmacies. They decide what UGGs are covered, what will be cheaper, and which pharmacies can use. Unlike the ACA, everybody could use it. This will force PBMs to disclose prices and rebate deals for prescriptions. They also won't be able to pocket money while prices go higher. And they will try to push savings to the consumers or the insured. I don't think this is a bad idea. There are limitations. Transparent price caps. Other companies can still set higher prices to cover the back end. There's no guarantee these savings will actually reach patients. Publicans want to expose who's profiting off of your prescription, but they're not actually lowering the prices yet. Number three, cost sharing and reductions. Starting in 2027, it will lower your bills then, not next year. Our cost sharing is in the deductible, co-pays, and the co-insurance. What it does is help insurers lower out-of-pocket costs. Lower income people that are enrolled in the ACA, so Affordable Care Act. Applies to mostly silver plans, and the government will reimburse insurers for covering more costs. Now, here are the important details of that shit. It don't start till 2027. So yes, you're gonna have to pray for a whole year you don't get sick. It only helps people who are already qualified, and it does nothing for premiums that are gonna go up in 2026 when the subsidies expire. Republicans are promising less co-pays, but that don't happen for another 2 years. This plan does not expand coverage. It just rearranges the shit. Some people may pay less upfront. Others will get weaker insurance, and help with costs will be delayed. It's not a replacement for the ACA subsidies. It's a workaround. So I hope y'all are saving y'all money, taking your fucking vitamins if you can afford, because if not, next year is going to be a fucking roller coaster for us. The Senate is going to vote on this shit. The Republicans are divided. So maybe we won't see it. Maybe we'll get the ACAs back, but I'm not holding my goddamn breath. So is everybody ready to get an OF page? Because you're going to need that shit next year for your healthcare insurance. So Republicans have rolled out their new healthcare plan. And baby, it's a shit show. The ACA subsidies are gone. They expire at the end of this month. And they are not in their new healthcare plan.
So I hope y'all got to understand it. I hope y'all understand what's going on. That is what they're looking at. I even read it to y'all. It's a lot of people don't know that basically like your Medicaid and stuff like that is, your insurance. So I have to tell y'all this. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Y'all gonna have to go back to grandma with the making the medicine and grandpa making the medicine too at this point. Cause now we got to recall the cheese and child, there's so much going on. And go back to them medicines they used to make for us growing up. Go back to it. I remember they used to have Father John. They took that away. That broke my heart because I love me some Father John.
Get an OF page because you're going to need that shit next year for your healthcare insurance. So Republicans have rolled out. So is everybody ready to get an OF page?
All right, hold on. Dang, she done went viral. Okay.
In the news, Republicans sound alarm about the Don's Real ID rollout. Conservatives are speaking.
Okay, hold on. We saw that.
Now, when I say there is a mass exodus for the Republicans in the House coming, I mean there is a mass exodus for the GOP members in the House on the way. So Puck Media Company got the scoop that there are at least 20 Republicans in the House that we haven't heard from yet who are going to be announcing their retirement in the next coming weeks.
Listen, I told y'all, we gonna move on. I'm just gonna give y'all the news. I told y'all that basically, all right, I told y'all, baby, it's a lot of them motherfuckers retiring because they know that when their time comes for it to be over, they going to jail. I'm telling you, pay attention to the play.
This is beyond the Republicans who have already announced or who have already hinted that they are retiring. And reports had already come out that Republicans were feeling unsatisfied and unappreciated in the House. And many of them feel as if Mike Johnson has been lying to them and leading them on about certain votes in the House, and have been pushing to vote for things specifically because Bone Spurs wants them to, and not because it's actually good for their constituents. So the situation they are finding themselves in is that they don't have very much to run on in a lot of these districts. And the things that they have done, the big not so beautiful billionaire bill, the Genius Act, and the continuing resolution, every single one of those are going to hurt the people. They haven't done or achieved not one thing that they can actually go and say, hey, I made your life better. Which is why they are trying so hard to gerrymander the maps. But even with that gerrymander, which I will get into in another video, they may find that getting seats may not be as easy as they thought, even with gerrymandered maps. When you have 22 plus districts in Tennessee's 7th district only being won by 9 points, a 14-point swing toward the Democrats, after 1 year, that is a problem. And it might be a problem that may be echoing throughout the entire country. They are completely underestimating how unpopular Bone Spurs and his agenda is. And the implementation of P2025 is not helpful. So not only do Republicans not have very much to run on, the things that they do have to run on, they're going to have to answer for. And they don't have good answers. They were really hoping to ride Bone Spurs' coattails through the midterms. But even he is underwater, with his national approval rating being about 41 on average. And some polls, like the Gallup poll and the CBS poll, have him at 36%. And what makes it worse is even though in said Gallup poll, Bone Spurs is at 36% approval, the Congress is only at 14% approval. And Republicans have both the House and the Senate, with the people disapproving so much of this government, with essentially the Republicans having the House, the Senate, the judiciary in form of the Supreme Court, as well as the executive branch. Nobody is happy with the things that are going on, which means that all of the campaign promises that they promise people to lower costs, to stop wars, and all of that is not going well for them because they're not delivering. And the things that they are delivering for, stopping gender affirming care, immigration, things like that, they're kind of regretting their vote when it comes to practicality of how these things are actually enacted, because this crackdown on immigration is hurting our economy. Taking away healthcare, which they are doing under the pretext that illegal immigrants actually get healthcare, which is a lie. And the whole thing about gender affirming care and all of that, they are using those talking points to make people cheer on their own healthcare costs going up by over 100%. So some families in Texas, for example, who already pay $1,600 in healthcare for a family of 4, which is diabolical when you think of other countries and their healthcare costs, are now going to be paying, if they don't renew these subsidies by the end of this year, those families paying $1,600 for a family of 4 are going to be paying $3,600 for that same family of 4. In Texas, where the minimum wage is still $7.25, where do they think people are getting this money from? And those are the things that the Republicans are going to have to answer for. Again, I'll be doing another video on this, but even in Texas, Bone Spurs is over 20 points underwater with Texas. Because his policies are being enacted the most over there, because Hot Wheels is not doing any pushback.
Hot Wheels ain't doing no pushback. Hot Wheels has made gerrymandering. Hot Wheels has also made it to where some of them seats that people have lost, that they were brought. Okay.
Whatsoever. And people are really pissed about what it is doing to their pockets and their livelihoods with these tariffs, with healthcare, and everything. But back to these retirements. It is not confirmed if these people are going to wait until the end of their term or retire early. But they are definitely planning to announce their retirements in the next coming weeks. Now, if some people retire before the midterms, then Mike Ragnar Johnson is about to lose his gavel. There are currently 220 Republicans in the House, with 213 Democrats and 2 vacancies. We do know that one of those vacancies are about to be a Democrat in January from the 18th District of Texas. So it's not like Mike Ragnar Johnson really has a lot of wiggle room here, especially with people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Nancy Mace thinking about retiring early, with Marjorie Taylor Greene already saying that she's leaving on the 5th of January. And it's not like the Republicans don't know what the people want. Brian Fitzpatrick was in an interview saying that the biggest problem and the most important thing that they should be focusing on is affordability. But they're not doing that, especially with Mike Ragnar Johnson refusing to hold the subsidies for a vote, which we all knew he was going to do when the Democrats decided to allow them to reopen the government. But people like Brian Fitzpatrick are the ones who voted for the big, not so beautiful billionaire bill. He also voted for the continuing resolution that is going to take away people's health care. And he has also been championing all of Bone Spurs' policies when it comes to things like the tariffs. And now he wants to talk about affordability. Now that the damage has been done to the people, he wants to start talking about affordability and how they need to start focusing on that. They should have started focusing on that. They didn't do that. They made sure they had their $4.5 billion tax cut for the rich before they even started thinking about anybody at all on the bottom. And taking away $900 billion from Medicaid and billions of dollars from SNAP, while making it more difficult and more cumbersome to even get in said programs, and then voting to repeal the subsidies, all of those things. You can't tell me that you were thinking about affordability when you were doing all of that. Now that you got yours and you want to get reelected, you're talking about affordability now. Some people have really short memories, but I do not. And I hold grudges. And because of all of these ridiculous policies, America is on track for layoffs to exceed great financial crisis levels, with estimates of 1.1 to 2 million people laid off just this year. That is a diabolical amount of people who have been laid off this year when you ran on jobs and affordability and said that everybody would be winning. Answer me this, Republicans. Are we winning yet? Now, when I say there is a mass exodus for the Republicans in the House coming, I mean there is a mass exodus.
We're going to go to Here's Why Kevin. We got some tea. Shout out to Kevin. Shout out to him. So, child, while we got a mass pew on the loose, and this man supposed to be over FBI, he's at a goddamn party. Instead of him taking the time out to say, hey, we got to get ready for the American people, he getting fired. And I believe he's one of them 20 that's going to be let go soon enough. Because remember, we just heard that 20 of them going to be going in out the door. All right. So guess what he doing? He had a party with the woman that he paid for jets for, that sat there and said that she didn't do no such thing. He didn't do that. He didn't do that for me. No. Here you go. His eyes a little shift the wrong way. I hope he get that fixed. Anyway, then Miss Thang,
a two-part series of articles in Vanity Fair. I mean, clearly there was a lot of cooperation between the White House and Vanity Fair on this.
This was, unfortunately, another attempt at fake news by...
She lying. She got fillers. Y'all remember last time she had the squiggly lines? She got fillers. Her and Botox Barbie, I'm telling you. Miss buying $2 million.
A reporter who was acting disingenuously. It's deeply unfortunate that happened, but it won't distract us from making America great again.
I wanted to ask you, Caroline, about the...
Yeah. All right, here we go.
And the last thing I'll say is, if any of us have learned a lesson from that Vanity Fair article, I hope that the lesson is we should be giving fewer interviews to mainstream media outlets. So
I want to know who's going to take them, because the black new media is not willing to sit down with y'all. You got a couple of them folks over there that would sit with y'all, but I really want to be, I know that, okay, so listen, he's going to say, hey, let's let go with Fox and everybody else, which there are a lot of black people on that have noticed, right? If you notice with press, let's head over to TPUSA. Let's get them to interview us. I'm telling y'all what's going to happen. And there are people talking about how TPUSA, especially the brown skin community, how they were mistreated. Okay.
And the last thing I'll going to tomorrow allow the HASC and SASC to see the unedited video of the September 2nd, alongside with Admiral Bradley, who has done a fantastic job, has made all the...
So you telling us we won't see the footage from September 2nd, but you can sit here and leak out information?
Right calls, and we're glad he'll be there to do it. But in keeping with long-standing Department of War policy, Department of Defense policy, of course, we're not going to release a top secret, full unedited video of that to the general public. HASC and SASC.
Look at this one over here. I can't stand
appropriate committees will see it.
First of all, Rubio don't do nothing. Why is he still there? He just like the other one. They don't do anything. They don't do nothing. They collect a free check.
But not the general public. Going to tomorrow allow the HASC and SASC to see the unedited video of the September.
Okay. So now our girl AOC has gave a speech this morning talking about the ice raids. Now, if y'all don't know, the ice raids are not just coming to certain, what they're doing is doing a test call. Let me explain something to y'all. So what's going, and I'm gonna talk about that too. With the ice raids, we finna move on to that. So ice raids are looking for the really African or anything like that. It's going to start targeting Black people, and it's a lot of us. I'm gonna say it again. It's a lot of us. So yeah, they don't know if you have a certain type of hair type or whatever. They're saying basically you can be American, your mama can be Black, but to them you are African. That's what they're trying to say. Or you Ethiopian or Somalian because your hair, they're looking at that now. Or you look like you can be Caribbean, but you're not Caribbean. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, your last name sound like Hispanic, but that's not. And then all of a sudden you sitting up in jail waiting to see what's going on. They have went through Chicago apartments and arrested all them Black people. Crazy word.
Over 70% of people currently detained in detention facilities do not have a criminal record. So who are they going after? They are going after 6-year-olds in my district. They are going after students and permanent residents for their political views. They are going after Americans born and raised in the United States. And time again, Trump has floated taking away citizenship from U.S. citizens based on their ethnicity. At every point, this administration has lied to us about ICE in America, while some of the wealthiest actors in our country have tried to sell us a myth to defend it, including private prison contractors. And that myth, that ideology, is that our immigrant neighbors are our enemies and more dangerous than us. And they sustain that myth because if everybody believes it, they can get away with robbing all of us. I want to remind you where the real crime is. It's in the oligarchs taking $170 billion of our money from healthcare and food assistance. Their hatred is a story, a myth, and we can choose to reject it. Donald Trump and Stephen Miller want you to believe that this is who we are as a country. And we are here to say that it is not. We are a country that has fought and defeated the Confederacy, that has defeated a history of civil rights violations, of secret police, of fascism. We are a country guided by a monument to freedom on the waters of New York City, who shines brightly and welcomes, quote, the huddled masses yearning to breathe free to our shores. So right now, I ask everyone in our country to fight for that ideal, to fight for this legacy. Thank you, and I yield back. Over 70% of people currently detained in detention facilities do not have.
She's right. Most of them do not have a criminal background. And you got to understand, we have to walk around with papers now. Like once they hit your state and you know they coming, you got to walk around with your Social Security, your birth certificate, and your ID. Oh, that's just immigrants. No, baby, that's everybody. If you are Black, you have to walk around with your shit because they will be stopping you at checkpoints. And then we're going to look at Atlanta because I told Atlanta this, and now look at what's happening to Atlanta. Now Atlanta like, oh, shit. I didn't lie. I don't got to lie. I'm telling you, look at his play card. Let me tell you something. He is just like one of them cheating men. They're like the men. Well, damn, they fit the category. Y'all know the men that sit here and say, baby, I promise I didn't do it. It's not a lie. And then you look at their track record and you realize that they lied. They like little pookie cousin that promised they're going to pay you them $20, $30, $40, $50 back. And days go by and months and years and you never got paid back. Yeah, they wanted them. They wanted them, bro. They're them. Oh, were they? No, baby, they're them. They're pookies. To me, they're them. Okay, they the ones that promise I know how to pull out. My pull out game is strong. Or I took a birth control this morning, but I'm gonna get them tomorrow. They're one of them. Like, we're not gonna act like they're not. Okay, we're not gonna act like they're not. So Mike Johnson, aka Rumpelstiltskin, I knew this was gonna happen. So when we told y'all, now we're going back to the Social Security. That's been affected too. That might be affected, FYI. We're going back to the healthcare. So remember, I told y'all that the reason why, if they would have held out till December, those 6 Democrats would have just held on till December 1st, which was 2 weeks away. You can hold on, that they would have got what they wanted because they would have had to come back to work. Well, look at Mr. Rumpelstiltskin. I told you, because look how he closing his hands and shit like, yeah, I got your motherfucking ass. You see what I'm saying? Look at this scamming ass motherfucker. You can look at him, tell he's a scamming ass motherfucker. And I'm telling you, he's a scamming ass motherfucker. So Mike Johnson, aka Rumpelstiltskin, is refusing to allow a House vote on extending the key Affordable Care Act, a subsidy set to expire at the end of the month. And this is even angering some moderate Republicans who were ready to vote for the extension. So the Republicans have noticed what's going on because of the Epstein files. I'm not Rumpelstiltskin. I'm looking at you a little funny lately. Because I feel like something ain't right. But remember that I had talked about that, and I told y'all that that's what they were trying to do. Now, there were some Republicans like, you know what, yeah, we're going to give it to them because they let us come back to work. We know the game y'all playing. There are a lot of Republicans that are doing this because of the fact is, as that girl said, 20 of them, including Marjorie Taylor Greene, are leaving their jobs. So primary election is March, June or July, and November. So your primary is going to count who sits in your seats. Instead of y'all listening because it sounds good to target LGBTQ, to target this and that, I need y'all to start doing y'all research. And because they using the God word, y'all got to start. The devil used Jesus and God all the time. This is why I told y'all to watch Sinners, because in that particular part, and Sinners, it wasn't just, Christians took it like the devil know the Bible too, but also they have been played the same way, and how they play the same game against y'all, and how when Relic said, hold on. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. But Relic had, when what's his name, Preacher Boy, sat there and quoted the Bible. He was praying. I think it was John 3:16. And Relic came behind him and said, that's the same game they played with me. Irish wasn't told then. They wasn't depicted as a white. They was just immigrants. Anything from UK and that, that's what they was. They was the outsiders. So when Relic sat there and said, they told you the same story like they told us and whipped us into slavery. Those were the slaves in the UK. Those were the slaves that America said that they could sit with them. Y'all ain't know that, did you? See what I'm saying? Yeah. You gotta pick up a book. All right, so these enhanced Obamacare subsidies are first expanded during the pandemic to keep health insurance affordable for millions of Americans. Democrats fought to keep the subsidies in order to make sure healthcare was affordable, and sparking the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. Now, with days left, it's hot. Was affordable, speaking of largest government shutdown. Subsidies lapse. Johnson, Rumpelstiltskin said there would be no vote. Moderate GOP lawmaker Representative Mike Lloyd are reportedly furious, warning that the vote is politically malpractice, and this decision put affordable care coverage for millions at risk while exposing a deeper rift into side of the Republican Party. So the Republicans are not at a rift. There are people that don't want to sit there with them. There are people that don't want to work with them. So now you might have the lawyer might say, okay, listen, let's take this, and it's going to be, I'm telling y'all, it's going to be a major lawsuit coming, the way I see it, and it's going to get to the point that where they're going to have to do it. Once they start realizing people are sitting here losing their lives over their decision, they're going to have to open this back up. And that's not the first amount of people that allegedly has lost their lives, because when it was a shutdown, when it came to food, some people lost their lives. I'm telling y'all think I'm playing. I'm not. Child. Oh, I'm so sick of him. So they want to talk about a brief conversation, according to DOD, as account the direction of his to take the Joint Force on a task force, Southern Spear, conducted lethal kinetic strikes on 3 vessels. Yeah, they want to have a discussion about that situation. Unclassified. Yeah, there you go. That's some fucked up shit. That they're saying, oh well, that wasn't trafficking no rugs, baby. Damn, they got a good picture of him. Ethiopians. Somalians first, Ethiopians next. Who else y'all think finna be part of this? Trump continues to prove that in order to meet his goal of deporting millions of undocumented people, will strip away the legal status. Now, let me tell y'all something. Not everybody is undocumented. Okay? Millions. Imagine how many people over here that are citizens. The White House just moved and ended temporary protected status for Ethiopians in stripping work permits and protection from the deportation for roughly 30,700 people who have been living here legally for years. So let me break this down to y'all. Y'all heard that he was trying to get the Nigerians over here, right? But then you got to understand, these are the same people they let come over here when their country was going through something, and when they got it to where they wanted to be, or they felt like they had enough for them and they felt like this was enough, these are the same people they sending back home to chaos. These are people that granted because of war and humanitarian crisis in Ethiopia, which the U.S. government said is now over, and they face a countdown to become undocumented and eligible for deportation if they do not have another pathway to legal status. This year alone, Trump has moved to terminate TPS communities from Haiti. Haiti is not in a good place. El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, Venezuela, Somalia, and now Ethiopia. And even though many of these countries remain gripped by conflict, political repression of war, he's sending them back. But y'all think he's going to help. He's not going to help. He has a God complex. He has to be looked at as God. He wants y'all to look at him as God. And majority of y'all are fitting that to give him that he is God. I'm telling you, he got a God complex. Y'all want to say Diddy got one? He got one too. We see it. Y'all just don't. Y'all got a lot to learn. All right, let's go to Atlanta ICE. What the heck? Hold on. Oh, Charles, think he is. I see it. You finna piss me off.
Go sit down. Go sit down.
Hold on. My bad, y'all. I don't know what is wrong with him lately. He just... Sorry, y'all. He is acting up. I don't know what's wrong with Milo. I don't know if Milo think it's a little girl out there, cause he be showing his butt. Now he ain't get no whooping, but he is putting into his room, and I'm finna make his little closet space that is open for him with the little thing around. He's gonna be in timeout for the day, cause I don't know what's wrong with him. We keep telling him to be quiet. He need to be in timeout. All right, let me see if I can find something that's going on in Atlanta. Because the last time I checked, they had checkpoints in Atlanta, honey. And the last time I heard that they were sending the federales out there. Yeah, you heard what I said. Child. Hold on. I should have sent this up to myself because I don't have what you call it. I don't have my algorithm is not the same on my TikTok, like on my computer, like it is on my phone, which is crazy word, but whatever.
Guys, so we in Lakewood, Atlanta, right here. All right.
Now, why they in Lakewood? Lakewood is predominantly black. Lakewood is not like Chamblee, Duluth area. Lakewood is the hood. I want to know. Now they know to make their way to Lakewood. But I want y'all to understand, if y'all been over there in Lakewood in the hood going towards Bankhead, y'all already know what's up. Over there near College Park, and all that over, yeah.
Lakewood. This right here used to be a convenience store. Okay, I grew up not too far from here, down the street from Outkast, Andre, Big Mob, the whole Goody Mob family.
They lived out there.
So guys, the reason I'm here, because this right here used to be a convenience store, okay? It used to be a convenience store, but when I was about 12 or 13 years old, I think the year was like 97 or 96, long ass time ago. I'm 41 years old, all right? There was a Hispanic couple from like Guatemala or Uruguay or something of that sort who worked inside of this store, okay? And this is a majority black neighborhood, okay? But there's maybe 10% Hispanics here as well. But yeah, there was a Hispanic couple here with 3 or 4 of their kids. I just see them and their grandmother in here every single day. Every single day I see this family. We was poor-ass black kids. Po-ass fucking black kids, dog. Okay? And anytime we go past the store, they know that we'll go in there. We would steal shit from them, okay? A po-ass black kid, we used to go in there and steal shit.
Now, why you telling everybody you a criminal? They used to still go in there and give us shit for free. I swear to God, they used to give us shit for free. Unalive everybody in the family. Wow, he can't even talk. They riding dirty out there.
Came in here and unalived everybody in the family, okay? The mother, the father, 3 of the kids, and the grandmother, okay? After that, that was so horrific. When I went to the store, I saw red stuff everywhere. That really fucked with me. And I'm like, I used to steal from them. Good people out there. These guys wasn't fucking criminals. They wasn't no fucking criminals or none of that bullshit that they talk about in the fucking White House. This was a young couple with their family out here risking their lives, moving into the fucking hood. They moved into the hood to start their business, okay? And unfortunately, everything got taken away.
Everybody know that these folks in the hood. When I first got there, I told y'all, I said I was surprised I heard a hood Asian talking. What you mean? He had the hood lingo. I swear for God.
Immigrants, here's a new U.S. immigration update. The U.S. government has announced a new USCIS vetting center. When you apply for an immigration benefit, USCIS has to check your background first. This is called vetting and screening. Before now, different offices handled those checks separately. The policy alert that was published on December 5th, 2025, announcing this new vetting center is going to be handling a centralized security unit that will take a deeper look at immigration applications. It's based in Atlanta, and once it's fully running, it will, number one, review pending immigration cases more closely. That includes work permits, green cards, asylum, and citizenship cases. Number two, it will reopen and review cases that were already approved. 3, it will use expanded technology and national security databases, including AI. The memo, the policy alert that was published, says the new vetting center will rely on classified systems, law enforcement tools, and intelligence data from DHS and partner agencies. 4, the vetting center will apply heightened screening to people from countries of concern.
Now listen, the reason why they put that there, we all know, Atlanta is dominantly black, brown, Asian. You have some palm color people there, but it's dominantly black. Black businesses, music, it's a black mecca. So of course they're gonna put that there. Of course they're gonna put that there.
There are 19 countries currently on the list. Here's what this likely means for immigrants. 1, more delays as cases go through additional security checks. 2, more requests for evidence from the government and questions, even for filings you might think are simple. 3, there's going to be more re-interviews and more re-reviews before USCIS could make a final decision. 4, it ties into current enforcement changes, including the nationwide asylum decision freeze, extra vetting for 19 countries, new rules allowing officers to consider negative country level factors, stronger security requirements, and the Executive Order 14161. The US immigration system is moving toward higher or heavier scrutiny. Make sure that your filings are complete and legally strong from the start. If you need help, AK Poku Law is here to support you wherever you are. My name is AK Poku. I'm a U.S. immigration attorney. I'll see you soon in our next video. Bye-bye.
All right. So before we go, I want to talk about Abby Phillips. Now, a lot of people feel like Abby Phillips don't stand up for what is right. They feel like Abby is used as a ploy. And some people feel like they like Abby, but, like, girl, right? Like, we got to come with it. So Abby Phillips had a thing today. I'm going to show y'all what she had to say. Shout out to Abby, Miss Abby Phillips, girl.
Out, it was very much correct. And it also helps to explain why currently the U.S. policy is that we only let white people claim asylum to come into this country right now if you're from the continent of Africa. He's saying it all out loud now.
I guess for me.
So let me say this. If you've been to South Africa, Johannesburg, and all, like I told y'all before, certain areas there, South Africans are taking their country back, point blank, period. The palm color people, they say we don't have no problem. Now, the ones that's claiming to have a problem are the ones that want to take over Africa. They like, whatever. The ones that ain't got a problem, listen, we can coexist with them. We love Johannesburg. We're having a great time. We're enjoying ourselves. Ain't nobody going through this. Ain't nobody going through that. They're saying we ain't po. We ain't po. Right? And then the other ones that came over here, well, they make us poor, they do this. Them folks, palm color people in Johannesburg say, baby, that ain't happening. We enjoying ourselves. The food is great. We having a good time. It's starting to get hot because now it's hot. When it's winter here in America in fall, it gets hot in Africa. So they saying they having a good old time. Well, Trump said that they could come over here, but he ain't pushing the Ethiopian like he pushing the Ethiopians, Somalians, the Haitians, and all that. They got these revolution stuff going on. They got these wars going on with things going on. He's sending them back, the black people, the Hispanic people. But the white people, they get to stay as long as they want. Okay.
You know, those are obvious lies, right? In the time, in the moment, there was no question. Even if he did not say it, the sentiment was so abundantly clear that to me, getting the confirmation of it right now is a little bit less about, aha, gotcha, than it is that he has forgotten the basic level of pretending that he has to do in public about these things that he feels. Like, I do not think that 4 or 5 years ago, he would have given up the ghost like this in front of people. This is another side of a man that doesn't have.
He doing that because his father, this is why New York don't like him and his family. His father, around the time when blacks can get apartments, what they're doing now to the Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, go look it up. His father, and I'm gonna talk about that too. I might stay on a little longer. We'll jump into what's going on in Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy with the brownstones. His father used to deny black people and kick them out when he bought the property. Y'all can look it up. His grandfather was a legal immigrant causing all types of havoc. And then he came over here and caused some things America didn't want him. Look it up. That's why he's so loud, because all his stuff is coming out. They kicked out, look it up, I'm telling you, they kicked out black people that had, like they're doing now with the Brookstone, the apartments that people are renting and giving out lineage of in New York. They're doing that now.
Have it quite together like he did before.
But I also think he also knows that there's no penalty for it, that it's okay now in the Republican Party to say, we only want to let white people come into this country. We only want immigrants from European countries. That's okay to say, when it maybe wasn't okay to say 5 years ago.
This is not a race issue. This is a cultural issue. And what we've seen in
I didn't make it a
Somalia-
race issue. The Trump administration did, when they literally, their policy on asylum is that no one comes in except for white South Africans.
It does not. So this year, the only people we let in asylum was people from South Africa. That does not mean that
white people
the Trump
from South
administration
Africa,
is
not,
only
not
letting
people from South Africa, only the white one. Turns out it was very much correct. And it also helps to explain why currently the US policy is that we only let white people claim asylum to come into this country right now if you're from the continent of Africa. He's saying it all out loud now.
I guess for me, you know, those are obvious lies, right? In the time, in the moment, there was no question. Even if he did not say it, the sentiment was so abundantly clear that to me, getting the confirmation of it right now is a little bit less about, aha, gotcha, than it is that he has forgotten the basic level of pretending that he has to do in public about these things that he feels. Like, I do not think that 4 or 5 years ago, he would have given up the ghost like this in front of people. This is another side of a man that doesn't have it quite together like he did before.
Bingo. I mean, what else can you ask? I mean, it's right in y'all face. Another truth of the fact is, y'all know Sinners was an educational black movie. It has been dubbed, shortlisted for 8 potential Oscar nominations. Best casting, you can't tell me. Okay? That this film wasn't great. So it was best out there. These are their nominations. Best casting, best cinematography, best makeup and hairstyling, sound. Y'all gotta understand, this film was so pivot into what's going on now. I keep telling y'all to watch it. I don't want to watch it. It's scary. Go against. No, it don't. Watch that shit. I'm telling you, your eyes gonna bug out your face. All right. I want to talk about the Brooklyn Deed, and then I'm going to get the heck on. So there's a Brooklyn Deed, a deed saga going on in Brooklyn. I haven't heard much else about it, but there are being signed away deeds from families that now own the brownstones in Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, that are getting kicked out, that they leave for their family. So when you buy a brownstone, that is for you to give to your children. That is your deed. That is your place. That belongs to you. You pay for it, and then you move on, like in Harlem and Brooklyn, you give it to the next one. You give it to the next one. It's like a place. They're very nice. We're going to look at some.
This is my house, and it will always be my house.
69-year-old Vira Jones, standing in front of the brownstone she purchased in 1996.
For less than $180,000.
A property she ultimately lost to foreclosure.
I was evicted May the 5th, 2025.
To hear Jones tell it, this ordeal began in 2019 when she got sick with what she believed to be COVID.
So December 19, first payment was due.
Yeah.
Did you make that payment?
No, I wasn't because I was sick.
By that time, Jones says she was already in the process of trying to refinance.
And got involved with these predatory lenders when I couldn't get a refinance from Chase Bank or Citibank.
Now in the midst of a heated legal battle to reclaim her brownstone, Jones blames two attorneys, including her own, for losing the property.
Were you notified about the foreclosure?
I was never notified there was any foreclosure.
A foreclosure, which Jones claims led to the fraudulent transfer of her deed to a new owner who purchased the brownstone at auction for a fraction of its worth.
Was worth $3.5 million.
Jones, who is a veteran real estate developer, says she's furious a new owner is now trying to flip her former home. It's now on the market, listed for just under $3 million. She says her former attorney, Yolanda Corrione, failed to warn her about the risk involved in signing two different loan documents, including a forbearance agreement.
My attorney didn't even inform me of anything that was going on.
Jones also claims in court documents the refinance lender and that firm's attorney did not have legal standing to claim ownership over the disputed brownstone.
It was Majestic Crown, whose attorney was Alan Weintraub.
Additionally, Jones accuses both Corrione and Weintraub of colluding with one another in the process that ended with the loss of her deed. Community Close-Up spoke with Jones's former attorney, Corrione, who told us via email, quote, I had a contingency agreement with Vira Jones. I would only get paid if 130 Green was saved from foreclosure. I received zero compensation for all the time and effort I put into delaying the foreclosure for an entire year and helping her apply for financing with several lenders. It makes absolutely no sense for me to collude with anyone to foreclose on 130 Green Avenue. Corrione, who says she is in the process of filing a defamation action against Jones, also forcefully denies any wrongdoing in regard to Jones signing that forbearance agreement. Quote, I did not advise her to sign this agreement. I reviewed the agreement with her and she told me she wanted to sign it. I was actually trying to stop Weintraub from foreclosing. Weintraub would not agree to stop the foreclosure and would only agree to forbear it instead. We reached out to attorney Weintraub, who represented the lender, Majestic Crown NY LLC, in Jones's refinance. Majestic Crown has no listed phone number or email. We also visited its listed business address in Kew Gardens, Queens, where we found no one associated with the firm. As for Weintraub, Majestic's attorney, he declined to comment for this story and referred us to the more than 200 document filings included in his counter lawsuit against Jones. We reviewed those documents. Several of them detail Majestic's multiple attempts to officially serve Vira Jones with notice of foreclosure paperwork as required by law. But various process servers noted how they were unable to reach Jones directly and instead left the paperwork with either her first floor tenant or a dozen other unidentified people listed in documents as John Does, all during a period when Jones says she was ailing from COVID.
What do we want? Where we want it now!
Jones now has the support of several advocates who stage weekly protest rallies in front of Brooklyn DA Eric Gonzalez's office, demanding that he step up prosecutions to address the more than 3,500 deed theft and fraud complaints made across New York State over the last decade. Almost half of the victims hail from Black and brown communities in Brooklyn.
Deed theft crimes are very complicated. And what we have found since the subprime market, that there has become an intricate, very sophisticated crime ring that has started within these little small banks that pop up. And so people are often led into these schemes.
A spokesperson for DA Gonzalez declined to comment specifically about Vira Jones's case, but did cite to Community Close-Up a recently obtained conviction against 68-year-old, now disbarred attorney Sanford Solney of Midwood, Brooklyn. A judge found Solney targeted and defrauded 11 homeowners who were in foreclosure, homes which the DA's office successfully returned to them. That spokesperson adding that the DA's office, quote, has a robust.
So y'all get the gist of that. I always wanted to own me a brownstone, but child, ain't gonna lie, I did. I saw the history of it. I'm like, ooh, okay, well, my family can have a brownstone in New York. I don't mind a high rise either, but I'm saying. And there is more than just deed fraud in New York. It's a lot of that. But there's also deed fraud in Tennessee. And it's starting to become a thing where people are taking these fake deeds and doing things to take these people homes. There's a Scottsdale police person, and he has a deed. He stole a deed, and it was fraud as well. I'm gonna do a longer video live on that tomorrow. And there's an AI about the Bed-Stuy deed thief, where they're coming in here and they could steal your paperwork in 6 minutes, and they're taking these the Bed-Stuy, they're brownstones. I'm sorry, brownstone. Don't cuss me out, y'all. Brownstones, to where, because there is and it's mostly targeting because of the history of a brownstone in New York. So everyone knows that if you own a brownstone, you can give that to your family, or you can make apartments to, or make it as an apartment, right? And you can sell it or do whatever, and you get money for it, or you can renovate it and rent it out. Depends on what you want to do. But mostly these brownstones, let's say your great grandma Elistine brought one. She gave it to your grandmother, and then when your grandmother passed, she gave it to your mother. And then when your family was like, listen, the home is too big, you guys are out. Guess who got it next? You got it. And then if you want to give it to the next generation, you just have to keep it up. It's like a generational thing. And it was a huge thing with having a brownstone. Let me play this a little, and then we're gonna get up out of here.
561 Putnam Avenue in Bed-Stuy. This house has been restored and completely gut renovated from the inside out. The finishes are going to blow your mind. Look at that fireplace mantle, and the marble in there is amazing. Has a little hint of pink. Just even these handles for the closet. The bathroom. Oh, I was loving this bathroom. They match the tile on the floor. It's a tiny powder room. The way they brought the same marble into the kitchen is not overwhelming, which is nice to see. This house is 17.5 feet wide and 45 feet deep, sitting on an 80-foot lot. It's always nice to have wide houses, but the depth is very important in allowing to accommodate more bedrooms.
And if you notice, y'all, they're trying to build these new, like them new apartments y'all see together. They're trying to build them like that, and so people can buy them. Than a high rise. A high rise, you can do the same thing, but they're built like, if you look at certain areas of different states, they're building them just like a brownstone. Be honest with you.
Which is also important when considering the price of a home. Now let's get back to these details. This pot filler at first seems unnecessary, but when you're carrying cast iron pots and pans over to the sink to fill them with water, you'll see how essential this fixture is for someone who cooks. This brownstone has 4 floors and a backyard, and the floor above the parlor level is called the primary suite floor. So this entire floor belongs to whoever occupies the primary bedroom. So you have the bedroom, and then in the middle here you have a nice closet, which is a great
Like
size.
that.
This one's all outfitted with drawers and shelves.
Who's
And
very
check it out.
modeling?
This bathroom.
Ooh,
I
heated floors.
love it.
That I said, baby, they sold me with the heated floor because it be cold. That's cute.
This is a perfect example of
Ooh.
attention to detail. You have an office where you don't necessarily need to enclose the space,
Okay,
and they
okay.
added a glass wall and door to let in.
Now listen, I hate to tell my business, but I always wanted to live in LA or New York. I don't care. It's just something. The LA life is like, oh my God, yes. And then New York is like, ooh. You know, it's just so cute to be able to walk around and have your nice little apartment and, you know, go to all the places on the corner and get you a nice food and some nice nail, get your nails done, go shop. It's just so cute to me. I always wanted to do that.
More natural light.
Oh my God, I like it. That's cool. That's good about to wake up to in the morning.
Let me know which room is your favorite and if you think
I
that
like
they
the
should
first one,
add a
girl, with
roof
the
deck
heated
to this
floors.
house. Follow
They
for more
told
home
me
tours
I
and real
want that
estate
four
tips from
bedroom.
Marlene B in the city.
Sure.
Welcome
Hold
to
on, I'm
Five.
gonna look at one more. Then we gonna go on out of here.
With me to the Upper West Side to tour this incredible 6-story townhouse. This is a neo-Renaissance New Romanesque style brownstone that was built 123 years ago. It's since been renovated and is now on the market for $15 million. It's located on West 70th, a quiet tree-lined street less than 1 block away from the park. You're either able to take the stairs or the elevator to the various corners of the home that feature 7 bedrooms, 5.5 bathrooms, a pool.
Shoot, anybody that's rich can buy that and have that as their home. I'm just saying. Let's look at her house, then we gonna go.
Hey guys, welcome to our brownstone.
So cute.
Come on in. Welcome. These doors are original to the brownstone. There's a few features in here that are original. So one, we have this amazing door, amazing door. We also have the fireplace. So my fiance worked years and years and years on demoing this place, redoing this place. It is so awesome. For me, I came in and I feel like I gave it love and helped him make it home. But this is where we fell in love at. This is where we had some of our first nights, first dates, first barbecues, and family Christmases. So welcome.
It's cute. Hold on. I want to see her part 2. But anyway, yeah, child.
Calling all home nosies. If you were a home nosy and you were like, I wonder what they got up in there. Cool as you got to see regular homes in the community. Not all of them were like done up and made amazing, but you got to see like families who had kept the house in from the 1940s. Like it would be like, oh, this used to be my mom's room, or this was my grandmother's room. And so not only did you have houses that looked like beautiful, but not to say these ones weren't, but it was beautiful to see them still in the community, see them passed down, getting to see like these new people in the neighborhood who are looking into these brownstones, getting to see that they've been here for years. And you can see the family pictures in the house. You can just see how they pass it down through the years. And so if there's anything that I could say to do is get your tickets ahead of time.
Listen. Okay, we gotta go. Listen, I always wanted to live in one. I'm not gonna lie. I always wanted to. There's just so, I mean, if I had the choice, I would live in one. I think I need to take a trip to New York this summer. Well, hell, we might as well say this summer because we're getting ready to go into allegedly a new year. But yeah, that's what all I had to talk about today. I'm gonna do the deed thing either today or tomorrow. I'm gonna figure out the time to do it because it is happening worldwide. So be mindful. Properties, all of that stuff is happening. They're selling them for lower than what they are. But yeah, y'all, I always wanted a brownstone. They're just so cute to me. Oh my goodness. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I was 18, I was like, ooh, I want to live in one. It's just so cozy. But y'all, I'm gonna be back. I don't know what else. I think we just gonna have some good I think I'm gonna do a conversation piece tonight where we're gonna talk. We just gonna talk. We're gonna talk about everything. It's just a chat. Whatever y'all want to talk about. Hold on, wait a minute. Child, we got some tea by Peter. I'll be back with tea with Peter, and we're gonna have some conversations. So I'm gonna put the link and everybody can come up. We can have a talk. If y'all want to talk about the Diddy documentary, that's cool. I'll put the link down. We'll talk about that too. Hold on, let me share this with Teray. But y'all, not somebody arguing over Peter Thomas. Girlie, he a I see y'all. I'm gonna see y'all at 5:30. Be here or be square. And I'm gonna drop the link. Y'all gonna be welcome to come up. We're gonna talk about it, child. Give me y'all think pieces on Mr. Peter and these young girls fighting, child. They are fighting at a party. Child, Peter out here still hitting and wicking and singing and rapping like he 25. We're going to talk about it. I want to thank you guys for coming in and watching. I'll see you in the next one. I'll see you guys at 5:30. Have a nice day. Bye.
It's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl of my lips. I'm a woman, phenomenally.
Birds singing in the dead of night.